Carlos, what went into the decision to option Alvarez?
Yeah, a lot. Not an easy decision. Something that we don't take lightly when we're making again these decisions. Extensive conversations, but at the end we decided that it was best for him to go down in AAA, play every day. Work on whether it's the offense, the defense, just in general. I mean, there's a lot of potential there, and when he's playing up to his potential, he's got a chance to be a pretty special player, and we're gonna need him. And we expect him to be back, but right now we feel like it's best for him to go down there and get reps.
How did he take the conversation?
Very professional. He listened, very respectful. Obviously frustrated because when you're in the big leagues and you get sent back down, that's what you don't want to hear that. But again, he took it very professionally and very respectful too.
Did you get any kind of feedback from him, like him saying, like, this is what I think the issue is, or anything like that? Or
no, he listened a lot. He did a lot of listening, and then there was a follow up where it's like, I want to make sure I'm playing, and then it's like, don't worry about it. We're gonna put a plan together here. We're gonna talk to the staff in AAA, coaches, manager, defensive coaches, and the coordinators, and just make sure you go down there and play.
You've mentioned recently that you thought some of the at-bats had been better. So why was now the time?
Yeah, the consistency. There were days where, there were stretches where I felt like a couple of games where, okay, that's what's supposed to look like. But then he'll go in a couple of games where he's late with the fastball and then he chases. So just looking for consistency here, And when you're playing, even though we gave him a chance here, if you're playing 3-4 games a week compared, having an opportunity to go play 6, that's how you're gonna get better, And in reality, Luis continues to earn playing time. So we're getting to a point where like 50-50, and that's what's best for Albi. Probably not at this time. So that's why.
He made some pretty significant changes to his swing in the offseason. When you look at that, is that something that you think will pay dividends, or something that he has to fix or adjust?
Yeah, I feel like some of the things that he worked on in the offseason are legit, But again, not only you're working and making these drastic adjustments, he goes down with an injury and misses pretty much a whole spring training. And then he's got to go through a rehab process, and before you know it, he's competing at the big league level. And we know how good the pitching is here. So to his defense, like back-to-back years where he's dealing with some type of injury. So again, we've seen some signs, but we got to see on a consistent basis.
Does it factor into it all that you have a guy, Sanger, who you feel good about defensively, who can step in to the backup role, and you kind of know a little bit what you have there?
Yeah, I mean, but when we're making this decision, it's all about the player. Yeah. So it was more about what was best for Aldi, what's best for the team in the organization when we're looking at the present and the future. So yes, it's always nice to have a guy like Sanger he's shown already that he can handle that role. But again, when we're talking about Aldi, it was what's best for Aldi.
So it kind of sounds like you think when he went down in spring training and he got hurt, he missing out on those at-bats to sort of test the new swing and get consistency with the new swing is maybe set him back a bit?
Because of the injury?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Didn't have enough at-bats?
Yeah, exactly, and I think he was getting at-bats at the minor league level, when that happened. So you're going through a major adjustments, you're going to need and that's what spring training is for. And the goal, when he reported, like, hey, we're going to try and get you as many at-bats as possible before we break camp. And then, unfortunately, he went down. So, again, not trying to make excuses for the kid, but he's something that we also talk about.
Was he surprised by the timing, given he just went 2 for 5 with the home run yesterday?
No, like I said, he didn't say much. And we're not reacting when we're making this decision. This is, like I said, extensive conversations, and we just decided that it was the right time to do it now.
Carlos, did you feel like this was something that he may have seen as not necessarily coming, but something that could be a possibility for him?
I don't think so. These guys are locked in right now in preparing day in and day out and trying to help us win a baseball, especially on a position like that that is so demanding. As soon as they get to the ballpark, they're doing something, whether it's game planning, working on their offense. Like, there's a lot. Like, for me to sit here and say, well, he had it on the back of his mind, probably not.
Defensively, where do you want to see him improve the most, and why do you think maybe there was a little bit of regression?
Yeah, everything. The receiving, the blocking. I feel like he's gotten better with his exchanges and throwing guys out. But I feel like the receiving and the blocking is probably an area that we want to see some improvement there. And obviously, he's got to play.
He has a pretty high catcher's ERA with some of your pitchers. How much of that do you think is on him, and how much of that is just kind of luck of the draw?
Yeah, I think it's hard to put it on one guy. I think, executing, but to blame an ERA on Aldi. This is a guy that's got leadership skills. We've seen how invested he is in the pitching staff, how much he cares about those guys. So I think it's just something that just happening now.
For you, I mean, we all know what Alvy's about, just personality-wise, is that sort of thing. How difficult is it for you to kind of deliver that message to that kind of guy?
Yeah, I mean, it's not easy, for me as a manager and for all of us as a coaching staff, having a player that talented here, and he's kind of like disappointed, that's how I take it, but again, it's part of the process, part of the business. It's not the first time, it's not going to be the last time, and at the end of the day, it came down to that's what we feel was best for him.
Where do things stand with Vientos? Do you think we could see him tomorrow?
I got to talk to. He was playing today in AAA. We got to make a decision whether we'll give him a couple more games at the AAA level. So I got to check with David. I got to get the report from him and some of the coaches down there in AAA, and then we'll have a decision.
I believe Brooks really didn't make the appearance 2 days ago. Did he?
Pitched yesterday.
He pitched yesterday.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
So he's still on track.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Is Senga throwing or doing anything at the
He
moment?
is. He's
Yeah.
throwing. That's a good thing that even right after the injury, he was able to keep the arm moving. So I think he's playing catch. I'll see him tomorrow, and I'll have more info there. But yeah, I was told that he's throwing.
With Vientos, could it be a case too where you want to get him more at bats? I think he's only got maybe a dozen at bats, something like that.
Well, I mean, with him, he's had a lot of at bats here. He went down. He's 2-3 weeks. So I think I don't know if you're comparing it with Alvy's case or not. A completely different cases here because he had a full spring training, all 200 play appearance. But again, we'll see if he needs more at bats because of the timing. But I think the health is going to be the number one question. And if he's physically ready to go, then the next phase or the next step will be, okay, how do you feeling timing wise and things like that. So.
All right.